Okay, hello. I think that I'm live on both platforms. Live on YouTube and on Twitch. So, hello, haven't been on a live stream for a while. I hope that a few of you get to show up today and chat with me live. Otherwise, if you only watch the replay, then make sure you subscribe and follow all the things so that we can catch up sometime. I'm going to make more effort to come live more. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do, because I post there. Try to do daily posts there, but I do miss days here and there depending on my schedule. But I usually do videos and posts and all sorts of things. So join me on Instagram if you aren't already following me, because that's where you'll find me most active. So today I want to talk about can't see any chat or anything, so at the moment, so nothing's coming up, but I want to talk about the current astrology and what's coming for us, and also relating it back to history and what's happened, because, you know, as I say, history repeats. So what's happened in the past and what could possibly be coming, similar themes in the future. It won't always be exactly the same because the cycles are always changing. I mean, all the planets aren't always aligned up exactly the same. Oh, the music's a bit loud. Okay, is that better? Why can't I see chat in here? Why is this not showing me? Oops. Just let me get the chat working. Or let me, I can't see it, quite see the chat. Why is this not working? Hi Mai, how are you? How are you, beautiful being? Thanks for coming by. I've seen that you've been streaming lately on Twitch. Well, I haven't seen, I saw once. I saw you one time. For a little bit. But I heard you have been streaming. Why can't this chat work? View. Oops, I just reset it. See if that works. Okay, I can see the chat on my camera screen, but I can't. That means I can only see. I don't know if that only shows me Twitch chat or if it shows me YouTube as well. What if I? No, that won't be good, probably. Maybe if I untickle these things. I don't know, I can't work it out, but I can see the chat on that screen, so that might have to do. I'll open up this other one just to make sure I don't miss anything. Let me see. Whoops, go back. Why isn't technology just easy sometimes? You're sleeping, but we'll listen a bit. Oh, you're streaming 1 to 2 times a week. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun chatting with people. Chat. There we go. Okay, I can see that chat. That might have to do. Okay. So, can close that now. Alright, okay, I should be able to see chat now. Okay, so let's start by looking at the current astrology at the moment. So let me just refresh this chart. Okay, so now I'm not drawing on here, but you can see my little cursor. Okay, sweet. So we currently have the sun in Leo, so the sun changing signs every 30 days. So it's getting towards those last few degrees. So we've got a few more days of the sun in Leo. So, you know, that's the sun is in its home sign in Leo. It's giving us a burst of vitality, of energy in that area of our life. So depending where Leo is in your chart. So one thing I did want to quickly go through with you was to show you how to pull up your chart, because that's the most powerful thing when you're listening to these astrology chats and talks or anything with astrology, is to know where these energies are in your own chart so that you can understand how they may affect you in what area of your life. So I'm going to bring up, I think I've got it on display share, so is it going to show this screen? I might have to change it. Window capture. Oh, screen capture is what I want to choose, isn't it? That's okay, we'll do this for now. Alright, oops. We want Chrome. Okay. There we go. Okay. So on Chrome, you go to astro.com. Cat hair on my mouth. So you go to astro.com, and then from here the three, oh, I have to move it over. Let me just open this a bit bigger. A little bit tricky because I've got these 2 screens open. I can see the, oh, there we go, I can still see the chat. Alright, so it is, I'm gonna go open this way more. Oh, there we go. Oh, you can see it. Okay. So to get your birth chart, so you can join my Discord, but that is one way. You can join my Discord, and in my Discord channel there's a chart bot, and you can put your details in there and it brings up your chart. Then you've got that, you can save it, and you'll know that we're, what area of your life these things are going to be happening in. So if I bring up today's chart again quickly, this line across here is your right, is the first, where the first house starts. You can see these little numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, sorry, you can't see this. Damn, I need to change this to screen capture, I think. Oh gosh. All right, let me just change it quickly. So this line across here, the ecliptic, this is where your rising sign is. So wherever this line is along here is your rising sign. So for this chart in particular, this is just pulled for my location right now, the sky as it is, where the planets are. So right now this is an Aquarius rising chart. This is Aquarius here, and it's in it's at I don't know, like 5 degrees, I think, in 14 minutes, it says, of Aquarius. So this, you see this number here's the number 1, there's number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way to 12. So 1 to 12 around the whole chart. So these are different houses and these are the different areas, relate to the different areas of your life. Sorry. So your first house, your rising sign, that's who you are, what you're about, the way you present yourself, your outlook on life, your part of your personality, in a sense, the way that you interact with the world. So that that's the beginning of your chart and outlays the rest of the areas of your life and the rest of the setup of your chart. The sun is not always, see the sun's over here in the 7th house, is not always to the 1st house. So when you listen to readings, you're not listening, you shouldn't be listening by your sun sign, because you should be listening by your rising sign, because that's going to give the information for what area of your life and where it's happening more accurately. Okay, so back to astro.com. So how do you get your birth chart? This is astrology software of my own that I'm using, Solarfire, but for free you can go to astro.com. You can go to so many different websites, but I find astro.com is one of the best and easiest. You can create a, all right, let me bring up astro.com again. You can create a profile and then you can save like shitloads of charts, like so many charts. Let's go back to Chrome. Yeah, you can save heaps of charts and friends, family, whatever, and then be able to go back and look at them at any time. And then you can pull up many different charts too. So this is, yeah, pretty awesome free software that you can use. So www.astro.com basically. So hopefully you can see this. So you go to the 3 little ellipses at the top next to the word horoscopes under astro.com, and you click on free horoscopes. Is this showing? Oh, okay, it is. Looks like it's not coming up, that screen. Anyway, free horoscopes. And then there's another list down. You go to horoscope drawings and data, and then you go to chart drawing ascendant. Click on that. Not sure if that came up. Oops. Let's just change this. There. So there you go. There's John Zerka's chart. So yeah. So that's how you do astro.com. That's how you get your chart. So we can see from this chart that the 1st house, the rising sign here, you can see the little numbers around again. 1st house is a rising sign. It is in Scorpio. So he's a Scorpio rising. That is, now this is based on having the exact birth time, an accurate birth time to get the exact rising sign. If you don't know your birth time, then I suggest you either, if you're from another country, it could possibly be on your birth certificate. But if you're in Australia, then it's not on our birth certificate. So you have to call the hospital and you can talk to like the records people or whatever and get your birth time from there, or if you know some other way, but that's the best way I know, unless it is on your birth certificate. Some other countries, yeah, it's on your birth certificate, which is pretty convenient and good. Okay, so yes, his rising sign, his 1st house is in that Scorpio energy. You can see that Sag energy is a lot of his 1st house too, because I'm using a Placidus chart, so I'm not using equal house. Equal house makes it easier to look at and understand, but I prefer to look at, I guess, what's really happening, and for me that's a Placidus chart. But I am learning that you know, after studying astrology for the last like 8 or 9 years, I'm learning that whole sign can be quite accurate too, because once the planet or energy triggers that energy, moves into that sign, that's when the energy triggers and starts. So yeah, if you're like a late degree, you know, like this chart, a late degree Scorpio rising, as soon as say like Mars enters Scorpio, it's going to affect that energy. So whether, no matter where you are in it, it's going to affect you, but it's just going to get stronger the closer it gets to that ascendant or sign or whatever it is for you that it's reaching. Particularly if it is like, for example, if it was Mars in this chart, because Mars is the ruler of that rising sign, the ruler of this chart. So that is how you pull up your birth chart. And so when we're talking and we're saying, like, right now, for example, we're going to talk about the sun in Leo. So Leo is his 9th house up here, and he's got Mars in Leo. So, oops, I just opened the chart. So Mars in Leo, so you can click on it and it will open it. You can save the charts, you can do all sorts of things. So that Mars, he's got Mars in Leo there. So, and it's in the 9th house. So it's that Mars in Leo is he's going to be very driven towards 9th house themes. His Mars is going to be very Leo-like, so very playful, very fun, very much like a leader in some way, wanting to lead the way. And in the 9th house too, it can be someone that wants to travel heaps, that he's really driven to travel possibly, or towards philosophy. I'm so bad with that word. Or towards higher education and learning, long distance travel or other cultures. It's an energy that's very much that 9th house energy of wanting to like grow and know and learn more. And that Leo energy is playful and it's fun and it's all about the heart and love and expressing ourselves and being bold and passionate and courageous and being a bit of a show pony and dramatic at times, and but also being quite fiery and dominant, and that masculine energy comes through too. So Mars is strong in Leo. So that is that energy, and so we can say that the sun currently in that 9th house Leo energy is going to be lighting up those themes and that stuff in his life right now quite strongly. Okay, so let's go back to the current chart. So okay, so we can currently see that, as I said, Sun is in Leo. Got a few more days to enjoy that energy. We also have Venus in Leo down here. So Venus is our love language. It's what we love, what we value, what makes us feel good. It's what we find valuable. So it's what we value, what we find valuable, how we love, how we give and receive love. It rules our finances and possessions and money and all that sort of stuff as well. So in Leo, it gives us the ability in love to be more bold and courageous and be more playful and fun and tap into that more childlike energy, and to be more confident when it comes to love and our relationships, and when it comes to our finances and money and all that stuff as well. So it's an energy that, especially when we speak of like our values and how we find value in ourselves, so we can, during that time, we can really value ourselves and what we have to offer and all that as well in that Leo energy. So the moon is currently down here in Gemini, so it's in the next 2.5 days is a great time for socializing, communicating, speaking, talking, for networking, for getting out there basically, and for focusing on some kind of short distance travel, and maybe some kind of like short learning that you can do, or sharing of information, teaching, that sort of thing as well, having conversations, going into it's a good energy for the moon when it's in Gemini too, for coming, being able to it's an intellectual sign, so the mind can be more in an intellectual state where we're able to tap into many different ideas and information and plans and thoughts, and it's very mutable. So it's like quick moving energy where it's like things are changeable and things can come in fast, information come in fast, and our mind can be faster and all that. That Gemini energy is very much where our mind is quite quick-witted and fast and witty and intelligent as well. So that's how we're going to feel, you know, be able to tap into that energy over the next 2.5 days. The big things I want to talk about are the big outer planet transits, and also Mars, because Mars is going to be in a 7 to 8 month transit, which is very rare. So I want to talk about them and how that affects us and the history of certain other transits and what's happened and what we can expect, I guess, over the next 6 months to a year, and what's coming and what the planets are doing and all that sort of stuff as well. So what else? So we just had a full moon in that Aquarius energy, which means that we'll be coming into a new moon. So we had it like last week. So every 14 days we're having a moon cycle every 2 weeks. So we'll be going into a new moon in Virgo. So the sun will move over here into Virgo, and we'll be the sun will be in Virgo and the moon will catch up. So if we let's get this interactive now. So sorry, if we move the chart. Well, actually, before I move, no, we'll do it. We can go back. Okay. There's always so many things that we can talk about. So if we go forward a couple of days, you can see that moon, catching up there with the sun. Pardon me. And then they come together here and create that new moon in Virgo. So the new moon will be happening at, I'd say 3 degrees. So it'll be, hang on. If I go forward a day, the moon's moved quite a bit. So it'll be happening on about the 28th of August, depending where you're, 27th, 28th of August, depending where you are in the world, that new moon in Virgo. So we're winding down from the full moon now in Aquarius, which was all about the future and about the bigger picture, and Saturn was involved, and it was all about our responsibilities and what we're showing up for and what we're not showing up for and what we're wanting to put our energy towards and work towards and build towards, and that involves the bigger higher purpose and our aspirations and what we're working and building towards to the future. So we're winding down now towards that new moon energy. So we're going into more of a release and a letting go energy, and that's what the full moon is all about, releasing and letting go. We've built up to that culmination point, and now we want to release and let go. And that's what and transits play out over the 2-week period. They also play out over a 6-month cycle too. So when we have a new moon, it's so that new moon in Virgo, over the next 6 months, we'll be able to manifest those new intentions from the Virgo new moon. So whatever we're planning, seeds we're planning at the time of the new moon in Virgo, 6 months time we'll be able to reap the benefits. It'll be a culmination point, a full moon in Virgo. So at the moment we are leaving the full moon in Aquarius. So if you think 6 months back before that, so 6 months ago, February, there was a new moon in Aquarius, and we would have been setting intentions and basically manifesting the next 6 months from that point. So whatever our focus and energy was being reflected at the time from that new moon, then that's what we'll be you know, building up towards and manifesting and growing over that 6-month period. So that's what we've been working on over the last 6 months. So it's that culmination point of that energy now. And now we'll start a new cycle, and we're doing that every moon cycle or moon period anyway. So every month with a new moon. So we're heading down to that new moon, and the moon is waning down to that new moon in Virgo. So it's less energy, it's more release and letting go, and more of a reflection time on the last 6 months as well, and what's been going on and what's happening, because as we prepare for the next 6 months and what's coming. So if we're talking about new moon in the next, so we've got new moon in the 27th, so in a week. So new moon coming in a week in Virgo is Virgo is an earth sign, so it can be trying to manifest new new intentions that are physically manifesting things that are going to be practical and be able to help us in our life and get, be able to help us to move towards our plans and towards is Virgo like a harvest season or something? I'm not sure like how it works on the northern hemisphere, if Virgo's like harvest time or something like that as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, so we are hey Zen Wave. Is that Meta Wave? So yeah, we're moving. So that new moon is new intentions, new beginnings, new opportunities. It's a fresh start, a refresh, and in certain area of our life, depending where Virgo is in your chart, it will be around. It can be around our health. It can be around our work. It can be around what we do on a day-to-day basis. It can be around our like our exercise and our health and well-being. It can be around our like environment and home and how we organize and tidy things and clean and plan and have structure and all that sort of stuff. Organization, basically. So the that new moon too is helping us. Like, it's a really good time for like spring cleaning. So it's like spring cleaning and like refreshing for the rest of the year, basically. To have a clean, fresh start or whatever and get organized. It's like a good time to like declutter and that. So it's like an opportunity to clear your space, to get back on track with like your health and your food and your eating, your exercise and stuff like that. Get yourself more organized in every area of your life, so that the next 6 months you're set up and can be ready for what is to come, the energy that's to come, basically. To be strong and to be healthy and all that, and in a good like mindset too, because that when we're talking about that Virgo energy too, it can be very very you have a cat moon. The cat moon emote. Oh, so cute. Thanks for the sub, appreciate it. That's so funny. I made that to tease Shredder because he's a Cap moon in Western, but a Sag moon in Vedic, and he follows Vedic and I follow tropical astrology, so Western astrology. So yeah, I have both to tease him. So when I feel like he's being nice, I'll give him a Sag moon. When he's being a toss, I'll give him a Cap moon. Oh, funny. How are you anyway, Zen Wave? You changed your name. Have you been streaming? So, oh, he loves Vedic. Yeah, he does. He definitely loves Vedic. And with good reason. They all have a purpose. And all have something to help us and show us and teach us and guide us. So, yes, that new moon in Virgo, really just think about getting yourself organized and health and more, you know, in a healthier mindset. And that may involve your environment and your daily routine, you know, making sure you get enough sleep and eating well and exercising and getting up early enough and going to bed late enough and making sure that you're, you know, showing up for your responsibilities and committing and doing the work and stuff like that. Virgo is also the sign of being of service. So it's like, it's make sure you're being of service, doing your service, what you're here to do, to serve. I'm not saying you're a servant, but we're all here for a purpose to do something. And that Virgo energy very much is an energy that is, you know, finds pleasure or finds a sense of, you know, purpose or being from being of service and helping others. It's a helpful energy too. So that's another thing, you know, with that new moon energy, is that we can come up with more solutions to problems and ideas, and it's a problem solving energy. It's the critic. It can be harsh and critical and all that, but it's because it's usually can see a better way of doing things, and it can help us to fix things. It's a fixing sign, that Virgo energy. I've been semi-streaming, being good lately. Glad to see you on. Oh, that's good. Good to see you around. And yeah, I should come on more so I can catch more people's streams. I always whinge about time, but I guess we make time for things, don't we? The things that we find important. Okay, so what else do we want to talk about before we get into the more deeper stuff? So I also want to talk about, so if we go back to now, the 20th, so 20th of August for me. I think most people in the world will be clocking over the 20th now. So we have just had some really nice transits the last few days and still be tapping into that energy. So we have Jupiter down here, you can see at 7 degrees in Aries. Do you see my cursor? I thought you could see it now. Is it showing my cursor? Oh, not on this chart. Okay, it was on the previous chart, but not on the animated chart. Oh, let me close this. There we go. Okay, so we have down here Jupiter at 7 degrees. So Jupiter is currently in retrograde. So Jupiter is all about expansion, growth, abundance, it's wisdom. And when it's in retrograde, though, it's more like an internal wisdom, an internal growth, internal abundance, like us tapping into our own internal abundance and internal wisdom, internally growing and getting in tune with our spirituality and stuff like that. So and then when it goes forward, because we've tapped into that inner abundance and that inner sanctuary and that inner spirituality and all that Jupiter energy wants from us, that inner wisdom, that innerness, you know, then when Jupiter goes forward again and goes direct, then we start to get the outer abundance, the outer growth, the outer wisdom, the outer gifts, abundance, gifts, all those sorts of things. So so once it goes direct, so Jupiter is going to retrograde back into Pisces, and I made a reel about this the other day too. So last time Jupiter was in Pisces, which was only like back a few months ago, it was there. We had flooding. You know, we've had a lot of flooding with Jupiter and Pisces over the last year or so. Yeah, Jupiter's in a sign for 13 months. So we had flooding and a lot of more water and rain, and Jupiter expands things. So in the sign of Pisces, a water sign, expands watery energy, and that's what caused flooding, too much water. So we're having Jupiter go back into this Pisces energy, and will conjunct with Neptune as well. So we will have flooding again, likely, you know. And the reason I made a reel about it is because I woke up whenever it was that morning 2 days ago, and my mum said that they've predicted we're going to have 6 months of rain. So it's like obviously constant rain for 6 months or something. And what is constant rain? Like I said, flooding or excessive is Jupiter too. We can have excess or overdo or too much as well, because it expands things and grows things. So we can have too much rain, too much water, which, as I said, leads to flooding. So that's an interesting astrology and worldly thing to connect together, is that, yeah, the flooding and more water and rain, and that's possibly what's coming. So Jupiter doesn't isn't about teaching us hard lessons like Saturn, but it's, you know, it does want us to grow, and, you know, growth does require us sometimes to go through you know, more difficult internal growth and stuff like that. So we need to get more in touch with our spirituality and ourself and our inner wisdom and all that. So that Jupiter is currently in a trine. So we can see up here Venus is at 10 degrees in Leo. So in the last few days they were exact at, you know, meeting at 7 degrees. They're 8 degrees, sorry, and now they're moving away from each other as Jupiter keeps continuing to retrograde backwards, and Venus is moving back forward past Leo, past into Virgo. So so that trine was really nice energy, and we're still feeling it. They're only 3 degrees away from each other, and it's, you know, opportunities for love and for relationships and for finances and money and opportunities and helpful energy and lucky energy. All of that we could have tapped into the last few days. So so Jupiter, but again, because as I made a point, is that it's about inner expansion, inner growth. So us feeling, you know, more inner value towards ourselves or towards our relationships, us feeling more valuable in our relationships, us feeling more able to have inner strength or inner wisdom and inner about our money and finances, about our relationships, all those things. So it was a pleasurable energy in a sense that, like, there's opportunities for us to for internal growth around those things. So we've had that trine, then we have another again, it all depends on what area of your life these energies are falling in, how it's going to affect you. So we also have Mars at 29 degrees down here, and Mars is in Taurus, and Taurus is an earth sign, and it's in a sextile here with Neptune in Pisces. So that sextile is, you know, helping us to be able to, you know, tap into our dreams and our intuition and our spirituality, and to help us to move forward towards what we desire, what we want, what we love, what we want. But it can also be an energy where it's like we can be it's not a bad aspect, so it's helping us to tap into our dreams and our creativity and our beauty and all of that, and be able to meld the two together to move forward, and especially with that Taurus energy, to see the value within ourselves, because if we can get in touch with our spirituality as well and our higher self. So we also had a couple of yods, finger of gods, the last few days too. So where we've had Mercury over here in Virgo, any intellectual energy, the problem-solving energy, the fixer energy, in conjunct or quincunx with Saturn over here in Aquarius, and with it was forming with Chiron down here as well, creating one. So helping us to, you know, come up with ideas and solutions that are helpful towards our healing, and where we can show up and you know, some kind of like intuitive messages coming through, or information coming through, or us needing to get our mindset more focused and clearer, and, you know, some kind of information energy, some kind of good conversations or something like that, that help us to heal those wounds around being able to show up and to have that future and destiny that we want to go after. So some kind of like information or a message or something that like gets us on track, or helps us, inspires us, or gets us moving towards, you know, what we want or what we desire, or something like that. And it could come from, you know, an external figure, or it could be, you know, uncomfortable because it's like a parent telling us we have to do something that we don't want to, or saying, no, you can't do this, or whatever. It's not like that, but it's that energy of authority, you know, authority pushing us in some way, which gives us an idea and inspiration or something like that. And it's, you know, pushed again by our wounds, but the wounds are being healed in this situation through our ability to show up and to take responsibility and to do the right thing. We also had another Yod finger of God between Neptune down here in Pisces and Pluto over here in Capricorn, and so that's a sextile, and then there was the Sun in Leo. That's right, yeah, so that's right. So the Sun was creating another quincunx to Pluto. It's causing a quincunx to Neptune down there in Pisces, and then they're in a sextile as well. The planets just interacting so much this like last year and a half. Like, it's just crazy, the energies, and just because they're all, it's like such late degrees, and it's like it doesn't always line up like this because the planets are on such different cycles. Like like, you know, Saturn is a 2.5 year cycle. Pluto is like a Pluto changes signs every 7 years, so like an 80 something year cycle, something like that. So yeah, so the energies like to actually meet up at these certain points, and it's like really powerful and really rare and really amazing. Oh, Chiron. I don't trust Chiron. It sounds so harsh. Chiron's a wounded healer, so it's all about us stepping into the power of being able to heal our wounds and help others to heal their wounds. So Chiron's actually really, really powerful, and it's like a really good focus in our chart, and to really yeah, to really like work on healing that Chiron, so that you can move forward in life and be able to not get stuck and held back by our wounds and our emotional, which creates emotional blocks and stuff like that, basically. So yeah, so another Yod finger of God pointing at the Sun. So before we were pointing at Mercury, so we were going to get some kind of inspiration or message or information or idea or plan or something come through, or conversation. This one's pointing at the Sun, so it's like, you know, by us like following our heart, our soul, what makes us happy, really tapping into and tuning into that energy of what lights us up, what gives us energy of vitality, and what we want, what our soul is craving on, what we love, moving towards that. But it's, you know, it's coming from some tense aspects from Neptune, so it's like wanting us to really tap into our dreams and our intuition and our higher self and what is our higher purpose, and that Pluto is wanting us to move towards our goals, and what we're building and working towards, and be truthful and honest, and get get to the core of things and step into our true power. So there can be some power struggles that are pushing us in some way, or some kind of like trauma or healing that needs to come up from that Neptune energy too, that really wants to push us towards our soul and to our sun, towards our future and our destiny in some way, and towards what lights us up, makes us happy, all of that. So yeah, we had some real, and that, so that Mars is, I was also yeah, so that Mars is also in a trine with that Pluto energy too. So again, you know, Mars is strategically in Taurus, hard, practically working towards building something that is strong and that will be secure for the long term. That is, and because Mars did have that conjunction too with the North Node and with Uranus, so he's very much, you know, coming off that energy of us moving towards our future and our destiny, and what is going to help us to shake us out of, you know, old stagnant energy where we felt stuck, where we've been stuck in old trauma or power struggles, or where we're not taking action in our lives and moving forward. We're too in our comfort zones, and we're not moving towards our destiny, towards the future, towards our evolution. So that's what we've been going through the last few days too, that energy. Now moving forward more, so we see now we have Mars down here. This is one of the bigger things I want to talk about today. So Mars, and like, it's important for me because I have natal Mars in Gemini, so this is going to affect me a lot, because not only do I have natal Mars in Gemini, but I have my Mercury there, I have my Chiron in Gemini, I also have well, my midheaven is there, and I also have, God, it's terrible at astrology, you don't know your own chart. As a star, something outer. Can't think what else. Anyway, so yeah, so this is the reason that this is big energy coming too, is because Mars is usually in a sign for like 3 weeks, something like that. It's quite fast moving, but it's going to be in Gemini for 7 to 8 months, because it's going to retrograde and it's going to be doing a lot. And Mars is all about drive, it's our passion, it's our desires, and we're collectively speaking and individually speaking, so it affects us on an internal level, it affects us in the world. Mars is all about action, it's all about the masculine energy, it's all about starting, initiating something, moving towards something. It's fiery, passionate energy. It wants to go, it wants to create, it wants to manifest, it wants to do, it wants to start something, it wants to lead, it wants to try something new, it wants to be foolish and like just jump into situations and things, and be adventurous, and it wants to be courageous and be strong, and it wants to dominate, and it wants to fight. That Mars energy, Mars is the warrior too. It wants to fight. Mars can be warlike energy, so it wants to fight, and it wants to be a pioneer and do new things. So does this chart apply to everyone right now, or is it someone's? Yeah, this is the current chart at the moment for everyone, for the collective. So these energies, again, so depending where this Mars is in your chart, so where Taurus is, the end of Taurus, the last few degrees of Taurus, or where Gemini, we're focusing on Mars and Gemini, so where it's going to be for the next 7 to 8 months, which is going to be affect us like on a worldwide scale. So where Gemini is in your chart is where this Mars energy is going to be happening and going to be affecting your life. So Mars finishing at the last degree of Taurus. So whenever a planet is at the last degree, it's always the most intense. So we're at 56 minutes, so we're getting close to Mars moving into Gemini now. So Mars in Gemini is definitely a different shift of energy. We're going to feel a huge shift in energy from Mars in Taurus to Mars in Gemini, because it's two completely different energies. So that will be happening, I guess, over the next few hours, I would say. Let me just even have a quick look. So let's work through the chart. So if we go ahead a day, so this time tomorrow, Mars will be at 0 degrees and 31 minutes. So yeah, over the next day, it's going to move into Gemini. So as Mars moves into Gemini, we'll definitely feel a huge shift of energy. Our own personal energy, our drive, our desires, our passions are going to be reignited in some sense. So Mars is a fire sign, and Mars moving into to Gemini, an air sign, is air fueling the fire. So Mars is getting fueled and fired up again because it's been stagnant and sitting in Taurus where it's been slow. It's Mars and Taurus, I think of it as, if you're thinking about Mars in Aries and Mars in Taurus, when Mars is in Aries, it's the rabbit, the hare. When Mars is in Taurus, it's the tortoise. So the tortoise and the hare, that race, you know, so the tortoise takes its time and it ends up winning and getting there in the long run. So it's about taking your time and building things practically and taking steps to make sure it's secure and stable before moving too fast, sort of thing. Whereas being safe and cautious, whereas Mars energy in Aries is like, just go after it. It's the fool. It's like, just try it and hope that for the best, sort of thing. Just jump into things without thinking or planning or anything like that. So Mars moving into Gemini is going to change the energy, because Mars is going to have its up and downs. Because it's Gemini, it's a dual energy, so it's going to sometimes have heaps of energy, other times feel a bit less energy. So it's going to be an up and down period over this next 6 months, where we're going to feel really energized and really passionate and fiery to go after things, and other times we're going to feel really not wanting to do that and wanting to you know, be more selfish. Well, I guess, yeah, that's where that Mars energy comes in, where it can be more in Gemini too, more selfish, more self-centered, more about me and what I want and what I want to do and all that. It's, you know, where it can be a bit more harsher, and it also can be more truthful and too in that energy in Gemini. So it's like where we say things without thinking, where we just try or do things without thinking and whatever. So that Mars energy too is where we can have a lot more scattered energy, because we're trying to do so many different things, working on so many different projects, or working with so many different people in whatever sense. You know, it could be like going on heaps of like too many different dates or something like that. Like dating too many people, or yeah, doing too many tasks at once, or trying to commit to too many things, or trying to start too many new things at once, trying to have too many conversations at once. Like, yeah, that Mars in that Gemini energy is a bit fluttery, is that the word? Like scattered, and like isn't as focused. There's like so many thoughts and ideas and things going on at once, sort of thing. So pardon me. So Mars moving into that Gemini energy is definitely going to have us like less introverted, more extroverted. So coming out of our shells and wanting to socialize more and communicate more and talk and share information and share ideas and speak and have our voice and have our say. And because it's like Mars is the warrior too, so it's going to want to, you know, communicate and speak about what it wants and desires and it's passionate about as well. So it's where the fighting masculine warlike energy can come in, because it's got the air energy to back it up and to be able to talk about it and put some initiation and energy into it. The wind moves things, so it helps that Mars energy move along. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. So you know, we can talk about the signs and their characteristics and all of that all we like, but the best thing is to look back in history so we can see what Mars has done in the past when it's in Gemini and how we might have some of those similar themes now. So if we can look back at the last time Mars was in Gemini, and you can do it for your own life as well. So when we look back and we see the date, you can think, okay, back to this date, what was happening in my life? And that can be a theme that when we're talking about Mars energies, what could have been happening. So we can do that two different ways. I'm just going to run away for a minute and go to the bathroom, and I'll be back, and then we will look at how we can work out those energies and then what they will mean for us moving forward and what sort of like could be coming. All right, so give me a moment and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So, okay, so if you have astrology software, then it's quite easy to find when the last time Mars was in Gemini. Otherwise, you know, there are other online softwares that you can use. There is actually, yeah, so I can actually do it in this software. I'm not sure. What are these? I can't remember how to do it. So let me have a quick look and see if I can, otherwise I'll show you the other way. So we want to look at transits. I wonder if you can see this. We're not, it doesn't matter. Okay, so transits, we want to look at transits to transits. Where is it? I need to play around with this a lot more. Let me see. Oh, now it's gonna play up. This software always crashes on me when I try and run reports. That's why I haven't been able to play around with it. I need to email them. Okay, let me close that. And I'll bring that up again. I'll try to uninstall and reinstall it, and it still crashes on me. So I don't know what solar fire's deal is. So the other way is we can look at an online ephemeris. open up software. It doesn't want to open now. That's okay, we're going to go onto here anyway. So we're going to do some Googling. Alright, so we're going to see when the last time Mars was in Gemini. And then we're going to see what was going on in the news. So we are about to have Mars go into Gemini. So this is an American ephemeris. It's 1950 to 2050 at midnight. So it goes midnight to midnight for each day. So I can look up dates on here. And it tells me where all the planets were at that particular date. So if I go to 2022, we go to, where are we? August 2022. So here we go, August 2022. And we're on the 20th of August, and we're about to, so I can see on here, August 2022. That's a bit bright, but, and then I can find along here the corresponding planet. So I can find Mars, and then I can go back through July, and then I'll come back over to this and go through June, through May, and go all the way back through the years, months, until I find Mars in Gemini again. So this may take a little while. No, it won't. We shouldn't take too long. So if I look, so if I'm going to go back, so July, Mars was in Aries. Now I'm going to go back again to the next month where Mars was in Aries the previous month. So I can start to go back to when Mars was last in Gemini. So Mars is in Pisces. Back here. And then Mars is in Capricorn. Then we've got Mars in Capricorn, Mars in Sag, Mars in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, Mars in Libra, Mars in Virgo, Mars in Virgo, Mars in Leo. And back to June 21 now. We've got Mars in Cancer. So we're getting closer. Mars in Cancer in May 21. So April 2021. So April 2021, we've got some Mars in Gemini here. So we're going to look at two different things. We're going to look at the last time Mars is in Gemini. And Mars is a fast-moving sign, so this is happening not that rarely. This is often an often occurrence. Like Mars is moving through the signs quite fast. So whereas if we look at the last time Mars was in retrograde in Gemini, that is another story. So Mars went into Gemini in March 2021. So around the 5th of March, the 5th, 6th of March, depending where you are in the world, 2021. So what were you doing? What was happening in your life back in March 2021? So March 2021 news. Let's say world news. Let's say world news. I don't know what this website is, but let's have a look. Update March the 7th. So stuff about CV, protests, explosions. So Mars rules explosions. Mars is warlike energy. More CV stuff. So Gemini is an energy of, so when we had the nodes back when CV first started, the nodes were in Gemini and Sagittarius, the North and South node, and this North node in Gemini was all about us sharing information, basically, and a lot of misinformation as well. So Gemini is also the trickster energy, we have to remember. So Mars in Gemini can be tricky, trickster energy, because it's got so much information. There's so many different things going on. We don't know what the truth is. We don't know what's real, what's fake. It can all just become too much and too frazzled and just too scattered and too overwhelming. And that's where that anxiety comes in, because it's too much stimulation. There's too much going on. We don't know what's real, what's fake. There's just too much information. So that is something that, you know, we could come up with again, where there's, you know, a lot of information in the media coming out, a lot of information online, and we don't know what to do and what's real and what's not. You know, like this, the CV thing. It's like, did it start in a lab, or did it start something else, some other way? Like, we don't know the truth. Like, there's misinformation around because there's just so many stories and trickster energy out there too. So, deadliest day in Myanmar Coop. Okay. Protests. Oh gosh, there's some crazy protests. I don't like this website at all. I mean, I don't think we're going to necessarily find good stuff. What does Wikipedia say? CNN might be a good one. No, it doesn't. Site map. So, war. So it is warlike energy. So we've already seen what's going on in certain parts of the world. We have financial issues coming. We have food shortages coming. We have all sorts of things. So that could be something that is likely to. A lot of CV stuff. More war stuff, kidnapping, war, civil war. Civil war is definitely going to be something that may come up over the next 6 months. Civil unrest, civil war, especially as interest rates rise, inflation rises, money becomes less valuable because everything's becoming so expensive. Assets are going to increase in value, but then we're also going to have certain things that will crash, certain markets that will crash as well. We've got that Uranus in Taurus, which is destabilizing financial systems to help us evolve into something new that's bigger and better. Not bigger, that's better for a heart. It's more humanitarian. That's going to help us evolve and not keep us you know, stuck and controlled. More CV stuff, protests, conflict, wars, civil war. Of course, it's going to be lots of CV stuff. an attack. Oh wow, this is like going day by day. Wow, okay. Swiss referendums. Interesting. So as I was saying, this is what you can do, you know, in your own life too. Look back and think back to different periods of time and what was happening and how the planets were lining up and how it might affect you again this time around. So we actually need to go back to the last time Mars was in retrograde in Gemini. So it's a bit harder to find an ephemeris. It would take me longer to do that because I'll have to go back month by month by month until I see Mars in its retrograde. Which I'm not sure. Does the ephemeris... I'm not sure the ephemeris... not sure if it notes a retrograde or if it's a matter of just working it out based on the movements of the planets, their degrees. Oh, well, I'll be able to tell, wouldn't I? Because we're going to go into a retrograde of Mars. So Mars in Gemini. There we go, we do. Okay, so Mars in Gemini retrograde. So Mars will be retrograding on the 30th of October. So Mars is moving forward all the way to 25 degrees. 25 degrees of Gemini. So where is 25 degrees of Gemini in your chart? All the way up to 25 degrees. And then it's going to retrograde back to (9 degrees). 8 degrees, it goes direct, so about 8 degrees. So between 20, what did I say? 25 and 8 degrees of Gemini. So between 8 degrees and 25 degrees of Gemini in your chart is where it'll be Gemini will be retrograding. So we'll have some energy that is moving forward quite fast and hastily, and things are moving quickly in our lives and all around the world, and heaps of information, heaps of energy, tasks, priorities, things happening, and we're going to be busy and more socializing and just all this stuff. And then Mars will stop station to retrograde and go backwards, and we'll go into a retrograde motion, an inner motion of Mars. So we'll be going back over everything that we go over from now. Not now, sorry. So when Mars moves to 8 degrees, so Mars will be at 8 degrees on the 4th of September. So from the 4th of September, so in 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, pay attention to the Gemini area of your life. Pay attention to what's happening, because that energy will be going back over. And as I said, this Mars and Gemini energy can be quite harsh and there's going to be a lot of stimulation in that. So there's going to be a really big need to ground your energy and to find ways to find balance and peace and harmony within yourself when there's so much going on in our outer world and in our inner worlds and just everything. So exercising is one of the biggest things when we talk about Mars and Gemini, because it's a way to get rid of all that anxious energy, that fast-paced moving energy, that monkey mind. All of that is to exercise, to physically get out and do something, walk, be in nature, to burn the energy, that fire energy, burn it off in some way so that it doesn't build up and become rage, anger, aggression, fighting, warlike energy. So that is going to be one of the biggest things when we're, you know, finding ways to calm that energy, to bring balance and peace and harmony to that overstimulated, anxious energy that's going on. So now my chart software won't work unless if I do Control-Alt-Delete. Oh, pardon me. Let's try that. It doesn't stuff up my stream or anything, I hope. So if we go Control-Alt-Delete and I close my software and try and open it back up, I think that might work. Okay, I've got it open again. Let me try again. All right, I found the search. Ooh, let's see if it'll work or if it's going to play up. All right, so let me flip you back to this other screen. All right, sweet, you can see that. All right, so, oh, can you see it? Why does it not come up? Oh, maybe it won't show on here. Weird. Whoa, what's going on here? Whoa. Uh-oh. Something happened to the window capture. Uh-oh. Ran away. Okay, this isn't good. It's like fully disappeared and ran away off my screen. Pardon me. Oh gosh. Technology doesn't seem to be being my friend today, does it? Dear. Should be too. Mercury's in Virgo. Hey, it's on my ascendant too. It should be helping me to be very intellectual and in tune and process lots of information and share ideas and all of that stuff. It should be easier. Okay, so it's not going to, oh, I've just lost it. It's not going to show you guys. All right, let me try and bring it up. So I want to find the last time I'm going to choose Mars was in Gemini. Advanced options. I want to know when it was retrograde. Indignity, in-house, in phase, a position, at position. Can we say retrograde? No, I don't want an aspect. In the phase, here we go. No, I don't, okay, phase isn't right. In aspect, no. In-house chart details, no. In aspect chart. Hmm. No, I don't know where to choose retrograde. Okay. So coordinates, no, in-house, no, is planet. Chart shape, midpoint, in sign. Okay, so Mars in Gemini. Okay, so I have a list now. I'll see if it will let me bring up this list to show you. Otherwise, maybe I should just try and screen share. How do I do a screen share? That would look better. Oh, I want to go, cancel, go new. Display capture. Okay. There we go. We're gonna have to, whoops, change this anyway. But that'll do for now. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. So, sorry, baby bear. Okay, so now we can see this. So, does it tell us retrogrades? Ooh. Do we have to set? Yeah, refine. Here we go. Can we refine it more? Okay, so we want to say between 1700 and now. I'd like to be able to say retrograde. What's it say? Modern traditional rulers. No, I don't care about. Find. Oh, I've stuffed it up again. This software keeps playing up for me. Every time I try and do something else, it doesn't like it. Alright. Let me see if we can just have to do it this way. Alright, so pardon me. Gemini, yeah. Oh, funny, Zen wave. So the last time Mars was in retrograde, in Gemini, sorry. Last time Mars in retrograde in Gemini. Here you go. Mars in Gemini 2022 will spread rumors faster than wildfire. Interesting. So Mars, yeah, so Gemini is a gossipy energy too, because it's like I said, a lot of speaking, communicating, socializing, talking, sharing of information, and trickster energy, whether it's true, whether it's not true, but it's definitely where rumors can start, and lies and deception and all of that can happen as well. Mars retrograde in Gemini dates. Let's try that. Be nice if my software was working. Astrology TV. This is a lovely lady that I have had a few interactions with on Instagram over the last few years. Astrology.tv. I think she's Astrology TV on Instagram. I don't know, but she's a very nice lady. So once every 2 years for around 80 days, the warrior planet turns on his heels and moves more slowly than usual. So also Mercury is about to go retrograde in Libra too, which we'll have a quick chat about before we leave today. No, we want to know dates. Here we go. What's this? When is Mars retrograde? What is this? Mars retrograde in Gemini. Yeah. Mars retrograde date and times. Here we go. 1920 to 2050. This is like a Mars ephemeris. Cool. So, and my ephemeris does said 1950, but so Mars was last retrograde in Gemini. 1943. Do we see another Mars in retrograde in Gemini? No. Wow. Okay, cool. That's cool. All right, this is good. Thank you, cafeastrology.com. You're amazing. So, October 28, 1943. Let's have a look. Then again, Mars retrograde in Gemini, October 10, 1958. All right, let's go forward. Whoa, 2048. Okay, so 2022. So we've got Mars retrograding in Gemini here. So direct. Direct in Gemini. Mars retrograde in Gemini. Here we go. October 20, 1990. That looks like the last time it was retrograde. So where were you in 1990 on October 20? I was 3.5 years old. So I don't know where I was and what was going on in my life. But let's have a look in the world. October 20, 1990. October 20, 1990. Oh, Honest Day. That's a good website. I used to use that for work. So, anti-war protest marches begin in 20 US cities. What did let me just say? It's crazy. Okay, there you go. We're just talking about civil wars and unrest and protests and all that kept coming up. We're looking at stuff before, so there you go. So I do feel like something like that may come up for us. The kind of, you know, people coming together and connecting and sharing information and ideas, and Mars is there leading us and driving us in some way towards something. Famous weddings, famous deaths. Okay, so news summary. October 20, 1990. Iraq will begin rationing gasoline next week. Whoa! Aren't we in a gasoline shortage? The Baghdad government said the announcement is a sign that after 11 weeks, the United Nations sanctions are beginning to damage the Iraqi economy. Oh, sorry. President Bush remains determined to force President Saddam Hussein to withdraw from Kuwait. Ooh. Space shuttle will carry satellite to spy on Iraq. Okay, so there's some crazy war shit definitely going on then. I mean, we already have it. I guess some stuff going on. The former Communist Party offices in Berlin were raided by police searching for evidence the party... Whoa, that sounds like what just happened to Trump. Britain's Conservative Party lost an election. Military aid to El Salvador was cut. Mexico City Journal. Oh, the Volkswagen Beetle never die too. What the? President Bush rallied Republicans around a plan to cut federal budget deficient without raising income taxes. Congress, blah, blah, blah. Compromise on a civil rights bill would be supported by civil rights stuff. President Bush. The Senate passed an aviation bill. Mayor Barry. Does the future hold for Labour United? Food and Commercial Workers Union drive to recruit supermarket workers become... Whoa. Madonna wiggles and raps to get out of the vote. Okay. Whoa, many homes without power or phones after fierce storm. President was George Bush. Prime Minister was Margaret. UK Prime Minister was Margaret Thatcher. That really interests me. Pardon me. Okay, now I'm getting tired. So, we haven't really found much apart from war and civil stuff come up. Which is definitely like I said, what we're sort of crazy shit we're moving towards. Oh, your dad's birthday. You were 3 years and 20 days old. I was 3 years and about 6 months. Just over 6 months. That's funny. Anything else? Well, this hasn't been as successful as I thought, but we might find some more interesting stuff. But if we said, what if we say 1990 world news? Because this is a 7 to 8 month transit. So what happened in 1990 in the world? That's probably a better look. And again, like I said, we can go back to the previous time it was in retrograde as well and look then and just try and put the pieces together, what similar themes were happening. So, world events. South Africa frees Nelson Mandela. Whoa! Whoa, the Persian Gulf War. Okay, so when was the last time did we say before that? Mars retrograde in Cancer. Mars retrograde in Gemini. 1958. Whoa, the Munich air disaster occurs after a plane crashes carrying the Manchester United team. Whoa. The USS Nautilus, the first nuclear submarine, successfully crossed the North Pole. Peace symbol was created during February by British designer Gerald Holton. The microchip co-invented by Jack Kilby of Texas Instruments and Robert Noyce of Fairchild Semiconductors. Oh, whoa. Whoa. There's definitely a microchip that's being worked on now, but it's not for semiconductors. Let's just say that. Unless we're the semiconductors. Great Chinese Famine begins in 1958, ending 1969 because the death of 30 million. Whoa! That's something that, like, we should be paying attention to. I'm sorry, but with the North Node in Taurus and Uranus there and everything going on and all the planets and everything that's going to happen over the next year with the transit, Uranus is going to go retrograde, like, so much. That is huge. Like, if you haven't been prepping or doing some kind of, like, just in case with food and with all the signs in the world and just everything that's happening, and if you listen to any kind of financial information and just the way the economy is going or anything like that, then you should be prepping in some way for what's coming. Because whenever there's wars, there's food shortages, there's issues with resources and supply and all this sort of stuff. So, better be safe than sorry. Let's just say that. So, yeah. It's like already like predicted and expected that we're going to, half the population is going to die from food, from famine, from like food shortages and shit, which is crazy. How much things cost. Funny. Minimum hourly rate $1. Average monthly rent $92. Bacon per pound 65 cents. Gallon of gas 25 cents. Oh my gosh. Eggs per dozen 32 cents. Palomino plastic furniture from $16.95. What's that? Average house price UK $2,390. Huh? Average cost of a new house $12,750. Average wages per year $4,000. Wow. It's crazy. NASA created. Whoa. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, the air disaster. That's nuts. US launches Explorer 1 satellite. Trying to get more information. Mars in Gemini, hey? Under the radar, though, too. Space mission ends. School satellite. Hope diamond. Peace symbol created. That's interesting. So Mars in retrograde. So Mars, the war warrior, going into retrograde, and then a peace symbol's created. As Mars has to back down or go back within. The microchip. Technology. Wow. Nelson Rockefeller elected governor of New York. Oh. Wow, that's crazy. The Great Chinese Famine. Elvis Presley inducted into the army. That was just to like try and get more, obviously, people recruited into war. Wow. Do we look at another date? One more date and then we'll leave it at that. 19, October 28, 19. So October 19. So 1943. 1943. So someone promoted. Okay. I don't like this website. It doesn't give us much. That was from before. Oh. Hello, what is this? The end of World War II? If you're going to try to go to war or to prepare for war in a capitalist country, you have got to let business make money out of the process or business won't work. Secretary of War Henry Stimson made this comment in 1940 as preparations for World War II gained momentum. So the Great Depression. Hello, my friends. This is coming. This is coming. This is coming. See this highlighted? This is coming. Oh, gosh. Yeah, let me fix this up. I'm so sorry. This is coming. Hello. Meanwhile, Europe in dire economic problems. That's coming. Europe is going to be hit the most this next 6 months to a year, whatever it is, next few years. Yes. What's to come is crazy, that's for sure. Alright, so let's go back to the current chart. Come over here. Okay, so let me fix that up. Go big again. Oh. So, Mercury retrograde. Mercury is here in Virgo, getting towards the last degrees before it retrogrades. We are hitting the shadow point though. So, I think it's in the next day or two. Let's have a quick play. So you'll see the chart moving. When does Mercury retrograde? So Mercury stations direct on the 9th of September, so 3 weeks. Yeah, shadow period is usually 2 weeks, then a 3-week retrograde, and then a 2-week shadow. So, in a week, so 8 degrees, and what does it retrograde back to? Mercury is going to retrograde back to... Wow. Let's see... 24 degrees of Leo. 24 degrees of Leo. Virgo, sorry. 24 degrees of Virgo. Mercury. So if we go back to today, we're in the shadow. Oh no, we're not, sorry. Tomorrow. So let me move that forward again. So 24 degrees tomorrow. So overnight. So we're heading into Mercury retrograde shadow period. So Mercury retrograde. Mercury is our mind, communication, our thoughts, our thought processes. It rules short distance travel, any kind of like short distance education and learning, our local environment, our siblings, our neighbors, our electronics, our technology, our cars, vehicles. All of these things are ruled by Mercury. Our contracts, our marketing, our social media, all of this is Mercury ruled. So going into retrograde is when it goes back into review, rethinking, reevaluating, reassessing, whatever, any kind of word you can think of is Mercury, the mind, the thoughts, the communication, the information, all that going back into review, rethinking, reevaluating, so that when Mercury moves direct and moves forward again, we're clearer, we've got new information that comes through, we've got a better plan, we're more focused, we're more detailed, we're more sure of our mental state, and now we don't have as much confusion, and we know we've had some kind of inspired information or idea or something come through that helps us to get back on track mentally and practically, in a way. Not practically, but yeah. So Mercury will retrograde back into Virgo. So if Mercury is retrograding back into Virgo from Libra, then it is very much about us getting more, again, those themes of getting more organized within our mind, within our environment. So getting more focused. So we're trying to help ease that anxious Virgo energy of always wanting to be stimulated and fix things and do things, and it's very much a doing energy, that Virgo Mercury energy. So it always wants to be doing things and keep busy and doing stuff. It's like got to be stimulated and constantly doing stuff so that it doesn't have to focus on feeling anxiety and feeling stress and overwhelmed and tense and all of that. But the best way, as I said, to beat that most anxiety energy is to get out and move the body and exercise and eat well and get enough sleep and rest and all of that stuff. So that's the sort of things that will be in focus in our mind. We'll be thinking on is like organizing and getting our health into focus and getting our communication sorted and our home and environment, and you know, where we're like just our local environment basically, where we spend our, you know, day-to-day energy, where we go locally, the short distance travel, you know, rethinking, reevaluating like where we're going to, what we're doing in a local environment, you know, we're organizing our home and our environment, getting reorganized, rethinking and reevaluating our plans and ideas and what we're thinking about and what we're learning and what we're taking in and absorbing and information and all of that as well. Hey Paco Price, how are you? Nice to see you. How are you doing? So yes, this Mercury retrograde, so the shadow period starting overnight, as I said, then we've got 2 weeks build up, then we've got 3 weeks of the actual retrograde and another 2 weeks. So between now and then, you don't want to take any trips that you don't have to. You don't want to sign any agreements or contracts if you don't have to. If you still have to do these things, do them, but you do them with caution and you do them with good planning and organization and good yeah, you just don't jump into things and you think about them. You think about them with the idea that if something was to, if I was to agree to something or commit to something right now, am I happy for it to have changes down the track, or for the terms and conditions to change, or for me to change my mind? Can I get out of this situation, or this this contract, or you know, this whatever it is? So it's like even us making plans, you know, when we get further down the track, those plans might end up changing. So it's very much an energy where it's just about rethinking, reevaluating, going back. It's, you know, Mercury retrograde is always the classic where old people from the past can come up to clear things so that we can rehash things and clear up the energy of what happened so we can move forward. It's not so that we can move forward with those people necessarily, or the information, or those situations, but it's just a rethinking, reevaluating, reassessing, so that we can get some new information or new clarity or new ideas or something to move forward. So it's where we can have old projects come up that we start to like work on and work through and like reevaluate and reassess and put some new energy or new ideas or planning into, or something like that, and we can take them and move forward. It's also where we, you know, go more internal and within and reassess like the way that we're speaking, communicating, thinking, talking, all those things. What we're doing on a day-to-day basis in our local environment, is it necessary? Do we need to do these things? All that sort of stuff. Oh, you're doing okay. I got a question. When I came and saw you checking out the Great Depression and the World War II on Wikipedia, I wonder if you were comparing the placements from there to modern days. Yes, that's exactly what I was doing. So we're looking at the last time Mars was in Gemini in retrograde and what was happening in the world, because we're going to have 6 to 7 months of this, and Mars is all about our drive and direction and that fighting warrior energy. It's all about war and passion and going after things, and in that Gemini energy it can get really fired up, and the air and wind behind it to give it that drive that it needs to like take on things. So we can be a lot busier, a lot more socializing, a lot more communication, information coming through, a lot busier, just a lot more going on in the world and in our lives, and it's going to but things are going to really ramp up fast, and all the Mars sorts of themes will start to ramp up as well. And yeah, you can see in that chart too that Mars is at 0 degrees tomorrow. So the 29th degree and 0 degree is the most intense. So we're experiencing the most intense part of Mars in Taurus now, where we're really wanting to like take action and do things and get the energy moving, but it's still stuck in Taurus, like at the most, the most intense part where it's like all about being stuck and grounded in building something that's practical and stable and safe and secure. So, the other thing too is that you can see how many planets are in retrograde at the moment too. So we we've had periods where there's been no retrogrades and there's been heaps of retrogrades. We've also had a lot of planets in their home signs, and then we're going to have a bit of that energy again where we'll have a few planets in their home signs, which will be really positive and helpful for us. So I get it now. I found it curious because of the crisis that is coming due to the whole inflation thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, there's that's what I was saying. It's like if you haven't started prepping, I would prep. And like it's hard to know like what to prep for and how to prep, but at the end of the day, you know, it's all about resources. So it's food and resources. So it's finances, food, resources. So it's like saving your money, saving food or stocking up on food, and resources, like getting more resources or trying to make connections for more resources, like finding out where you can access more resources or how you can exchange resources with other people or something in some way or something. Like it's all going to be about resources and our food and our money and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's going like Europe will be hit the hardest. The US is going to get quite a shock with the financial system. I don't know how Australia is going to play out because Australia usually just follows the rest of the world. So, and I mean, if you look at CV in the last 3 years, we've been fucked. So, yeah. So, yeah, the biggest thing is just like all this energy in Taurus. This North Node and this Uranus here. Uranus is going to retrograde too, which is going to, you know, back over the North Node, and then it'll go forward again, back over the North Node again, and it's like triggering rebellion energy. It's triggering us to stand up and break free in some way and to get shaken out of our comfort zones. It's electrifying. It's wanting us to evolve. It's Uranus is sudden and shocking things. It can be, and Taurus too, it can be, you know, earthquakes, and it can be unexpected things with your financial systems, things getting shaken or stirred up, and unexpected things happening, revolutions with money and with resources and all that sort of thing. I wonder if, though, astrology, it's easy to see what course will mankind take in the next few years, if it will get out of the mess we're in, or if it will be those people have been shouting for years that people will own nothing and be happy. Yeah. We're definitely heading towards that. Like, it's going to get bad before it gets good. And that's in the astrology. Like, even if you look at, not even the astrology, if you look at the Schmitter. I love looking at the Schmitters. So I don't know if anyone's looked into this, but there's a thing called a 7-year Schmitter. Schmitter cycle. So it's a to do with, yeah, the Hebrew calendar or whatever. We're in the sabbatical year at the moment. I think it's sabbatical year. What's this little image here? So it's a 7-year cycle, and you can see when you match up the Schmitter 7-year cycle, and you match up the financial systems, and you can see the dips and the crashes and the 7-year cycles and how things go. Oh, what's this? Hello. So what's this little thing picture here? This is on Reddit by the looks of it. Okay, so in 2015, a church friend of mine was warning about stock market crash that she was predicting. When I asked her what made her think the market was going to crash, she said that most of 2015 were part of a Schmitter year. So we're currently in a Schmitter year. It started in September last year and it goes till September this year. So pretty much like you want to be preparing for things to go fucked after September, end of September, October. That's when like chaos is going to start going in the world. The financial systems are really going to start collapsing. Like things are going to really start getting bad because this 7-year Schmitter cycle, we're getting towards a reset basically. So a reset of finances, money, all that sort of stuff as well. So not knowing what was asked her, she said it was the last year of the 7-year cycle according to Jewish legend. More specifically, the Shemitah comes from the Bible where it states the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest of the land. It's like part of replenishing the land. So it's like reset, refreshing, starting again. So it's like the year before I think that's just the Shemitah year's winding down, but the year before is when it'll be where we get the most, like where the stock market and everything and crypto and everything was at its highest and peak. And then we come to Shemitah year and it all crashes, the stock market, everything. So it is the concept that one shall allow the land to go fallow and let it rest. And we reap all the benefits and the rewards before that period, and then they're finished. Now we don't have, we have another 7 years to build up. So the next 7 years aren't going to be good for the economy and for the financial system and everything like that. We're going to take another 7 years to get back to a good point. So we have the concept this occurs in our stock markets where every 7 years the market faces rapid downward deviations and is a party to some of the most famous market crashes in history. Understanding that, I'm trying to correlate a Christian calendar and Jewish calendar. Here are the past Shemitah years where data from Robert Schuller are available. So the Panic of 1903 and 1903, Panic of 1910, 1910, 1917, Dawn of World War I, 1931, Great Depression. So these are all Shemitah years. 1973, Bretton Woods crash. 1987, Black Monday. 2001, tech bubble. So the dot-com bubble in 2000 was like huge. Everyone was like making shitloads of money. So it's like the cryptocurrency market right now. It's huge. Everyone was making heaps of money. And then the bubble burst this year. And everyone's crypto is crashing. The tech bubble burst in 2001. Everything was crashing. And the dot-com bubble, so like Amazon lost money, all these big companies, so many companies crashed that thought they were going to make money from the dot-com bubble. And then 2008, the Great Recession, which they then pumped in heaps of, printed heaps of money and pumped in heaps of money to the economy to stop the Great Depression basically happening in 2008 and like save the economy from money printing. But now we're going to get double the effects of it because they've pumped it up for so long, fake, with money printing, and now we're going to suffer from it. Because of it. So there you go. 2015 flash crashes. 2022, 7 years later, crashes again. The stock market's crashing. The cryptocurrency market's crashing. The housing market is crashing, but they're not telling us that. They're still propping it up, pretending like it's good, but it's actually slowly going back down. There's going to be a lot of crashes. So during Shemitah years, the market has seen a decline of 46% of the time compared to non-Shemitah years. That is a significant difference than the 24% profitability of negative years for the years leading up to the sabbatical year. So you can see it here on the chart. Here's the crazy thing. The actual returns are different for the Shemitah years. Let me show you. For the non-Shemitah years, the average return is 9%, but for the Shemitah years, it's an average loss of negative 2.4%. These differences are significant. All returns assume a change in price and include dividend payouts not reinvested. Here is a chart comparing all the years, blah, blah, blah. So what does this mean? It's hard to understand what to do with this data. It's worth noting that we are in the middle of a pandemic and somehow the markets have ignored that. All the money pumping, remember, as soon as the pandemic hit, they started printing heaps of money and giving everyone stimuluses and giving the amount of like, what are they called? Like, money that businesses got given, relief and stuff like that is crazy as well, you know, for everything. So, so perhaps 2022, the next Schmitter year, will have some upheaval. So this is obviously written last year, and yes, it has. We know that. We are in a high inflationary environment and dysfunctional legislative branch, and to the fact that this pandemic is not going out quietly, we will eventually find out that stock markets do not like uncertainty. So it's going to be a very bumpy year. Spent September until September 24, 27. Yeah, exactly. Already look at this signs of a very volatile market. Supply chain on last thread. Oil prices going through the roof. Yeah, oil will get to like $50 a gallon. No, 50. Is that a lot? $50 a gallon? Oil prices are over $100. They are predicting 150 to 175 a barrel. Famine in Africa, major drought in 3/4 of the US, idiot in office doubling down on freaking climate change. He will call for a national climate change emergency. This will fall right before the elections. Then they can continue the narrative and cheat again to destroy our nation. One world order. Yeah. You will own nothing and you'll be happy. Yeah, that's why the inflation is here. Yeah. Hi, Spellwork. How are you? The central bank started to print money out of nothing like crazy while stopping the economy in most countries. Yeah, exactly. So they're printing money like crazy, but nothing was happening. Nothing was being produced. Nothing was being made. Nothing was like being shipped and this and that. Like, yeah. Yeah, the market crashes every 7 years, less than 50% of the time. So yeah, that's the Schmitter 7-year cycle. So 1966 financial crisis. Oh, there we go. Can you see? You can sort of see that. This one's. Can you see this picture? Once it loads. Yeah, there we go. Oh, gosh, this bloody thing. Hang on. Display. So yeah, 1966 financial crisis, market dropped 20%. Oil shock upheaval, market 30%. 1973, 1980 hard recession begins. 1987 stock market crash, bond market crash, stock market crash, stock market crash, mega crash alert. And what are we going into? What do we have now? A mega crash. So, yeah. So, another day we should look into the Schmitter cycles in astrology and see what is peaking each time as well, because planets that are on like a 7-year cycle, like Pluto is in a sign for 7 years. I'm tired now, I can't think. But Pluto is usually, I think, in a sign for... That's why I should stream earlier, then I won't be tired. Oh, 12 years. Sorry, it's 12 years. So 12 years in a sign. Oh, so it's not Pluto. What's in a 7-year? Hang on. Pluto, Neptune. Is Neptune in a 7-year cycle? No, it's 13 to 14 years. I can't think right now. Jupiter's in a 13-month cycle. Saturn's in a 2.5-year cycle. Mars is in a 2 to 2.5-year cycle. Venus and Mercury all move fast. The Sun moves fast. Neptune. Is it? It's not Uranus. Well, that would make sense if it is Uranus. Uranus and Saturn. Oh, so it is Uranus. Oh, I was thinking, I was like, no. Okay, so if Uranus is changing signs every 7 years, it'd be interesting. Well, it's not at the moment. It's like right in the middle of Taurus, so we wouldn't say that. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see what does line up with it. I'm going to do some research and come back with that. American answer. I'm fine. How are you? Gemini said grandma. Oh, spell work. I'm sorry. I hope you're okay. I'm sending you lots of love to you and your family. Bye, Paga. Take care. I'll talk to you later. Oh. It was just random spell work. I decided yesterday. I was like, I'm going to stream, or the day before. I was going to do it last night, and I was going to do it this morning, and then I didn't. So, hope you're okay. Sending you lots of love, spell work. Be gentle with yourself and take care. And yeah, I hope you're alright. So I think I'm gonna leave it there. I did want to do some tapping, but I'm tired now. I'll just do that another time. We'll do another video with that, another stream. So yes, as I said, I'm like pretty active on Instagram, so follow me on there if you're not already. I was doing daily posts, and I was doing them like showing the chart like I am now a bit, but then my tablet died, so I haven't been doing that. I've been doing a couple of random videos here and there, but yeah, so otherwise I follow my YouTube because I post everything up there that I do make and put on, if I put on Instagram, or I always put on YouTube as well. It's harder with Twitch. Twitch takes a lot more time and energy, and yeah, it's fun, but yeah, and even like going live on YouTube or whatever. So yes, I think I've spoken enough about astrology for now. I'll leave it at that. Mercury retrograde coming. I've told you about Mars retrograde coming. We're going to be more busier, social, all that, but also I've given you a few things to prep about and think about and look into more and consider as well. So I hope that this chat was helpful for everyone. It's probably long. I don't even know how long it's been going for. I haven't got anything set up properly. I don't know. But otherwise, make sure you follow me and subscribe, all the things, and take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks for watching, listening, being here with me, following everything, liking. It all helps, and I'm very appreciative. And I'll talk to you soon.